Just days before one of the biggest international rugby matches of the year, an unexpected controversy stole the spotlight away from the players. Instead of talking about powerful scrums, tactical masterclasses, or the return of the Springboks to test rugby, fans everywhere found themselves asking one surprising question. Was South Africa's most famous rugby team struggling to fill one of its most iconic stadiums? Reports claiming that only around 21,000 tickets had been sold for the massive showdown against England spread rapidly across social media, creating concern, frustration, and endless debate. For many supporters, the numbers were shocking. How could a match featuring the reigning world champions generate headlines about empty seats instead of unforgettable rugby? But as the story continued to grow, SA Rugby stepped forward with a very different version of events. The timing could hardly have been more dramatic. The Springboks, guided by head coach Rassie Erasmus, were preparing to launch another important test season. Standing in their way was an ambitious England side led by Steve Borthwick, a team eager to prove itself against the best in the world. Whenever these two rugby giants meet, history is never far away. Every tackle carries meaning. Every try can shift momentum. Every victory becomes another chapter in one of international rugby's greatest rivalries. This was supposed to be a celebration of world-class rugby. Instead, attention suddenly shifted toward ticket sales. The reports spread quickly. Headlines suggested that attendance would fall well below expectations at the famous Ellis Park Stadium, a venue that has witnessed some of rugby's most unforgettable moments. For many supporters, the reported numbers seemed impossible to believe. Others blamed rising ticket prices, arguing that loyal fans had simply been priced out of watching their national team in person. Online discussions became increasingly passionate, with thousands questioning whether rugby was becoming too expensive for ordinary South Africans. The criticism intensified when reports emerged that ticket prices had been reduced during the week leading up to kickoff. To many observers, those price cuts appeared to confirm the belief that sales had been slower than expected. Social media exploded with opinions. Some accused SA Rugby of making a serious pricing mistake, while others argued that difficult economic conditions were making it harder for families to spend money on live sporting events. Within just a few days, the conversation had become far bigger than a single rugby match. But according to SA Rugby, the public had been given the wrong impression. In a firm response, the governing body rejected suggestions that attendance would barely exceed 21,000 spectators. Officials described those predictions as entirely inaccurate and based on incomplete information. Rather than accepting claims that supporters had lost interest, SA Rugby insisted that ticket sales remained significantly stronger than many reports suggested. Their expectation, they explained, was still to approach the historical average whenever England tours South Africa, a figure that has traditionally reached around 91% of stadium capacity. At the same time, the organization acknowledged something many supporters already understood. Life has become more expensive. Families across the country continue to face financial pressure, forcing many people to make difficult choices about entertainment and leisure spending. Rugby may be loved across South Africa, but even the most passionate supporters must balance their budgets carefully. According to SA Rugby, these wider economic realities have affected many industries, and sport is no exception. There was another important factor that many early reports failed to consider. South African rugby supporters are currently being offered tickets to several major matches within a short period of time, including multiple test fixtures and provincial clashes involving elite international opposition. Instead of choosing between rugby and no rugby, many fans are deciding which matches they can realistically afford to attend. That changes the picture considerably. A slower start to ticket sales does not automatically mean a lack of passion. Sometimes it simply reflects the reality of difficult financial decisions. As kickoff moved closer, the focus gradually returned to where it belonged, on the rugby itself. For Rassie Erasmus, outside noise means very little once preparations begin. His attention remains fixed on building another successful campaign for the Springboks, a team that has become known for resilience, discipline, and delivering under pressure. Every new test season brings fresh expectations, and opening against England offers an immediate opportunity to send a message to the rest of the rugby world. Across the field, Steve Borthwick knows exactly what awaits his players. Traveling to South Africa has never been easy. Playing inside Ellis Park Stadium, surrounded by passionate home supporters, demands physical toughness, mental strength, and complete concentration for the full 80 minutes. Regardless of the final attendance figure, the intensity of the occasion will remain enormous. Perhaps the biggest lesson from this entire debate is how quickly headlines can shape public opinion before the full story is known. A single number sparked days of criticism, speculation, and frustration, yet SA Rugby maintains that the narrative surrounding ticket sales failed to reflect reality. Whether supporters agree with the organization's explanation or continue to question ticket pricing, one fact remains unchanged. The passion for the Springboks has never been measured only by the number of seats sold. It is measured by millions of supporters who proudly wear green and gold, who celebrate every victory, and who continue to believe in one of rugby's greatest teams. Now, as the players prepare to walk onto the field and the roar inside Ellis Park Stadium begins to rise, the conversation finally returns to what truly matters. Not rumors, not speculation, not attendance predictions, but 80 minutes of elite international rugby between two proud nations with a rivalry built on respect, history, and relentless competition. When the first whistle blows, the headlines about ticket sales will instantly become yesterday's news. The only question left will be the one every rugby fan really cares about. Can Rassie Erasmus and the Springboks begin their test season with a statement victory? Or will England silence the home crowd and spoil one of the biggest occasions of the rugby calendar? Very soon, the answer will be written not in newspaper headlines, but on the scoreboard itself. Just days before one of the biggest